My name is Timothy Johnson. Since graduating from university, I have been working at a well-known medical equipment manufacturer in the US. Honestly, our company is quite prestigious and offers excellent benefits. I work with great colleagues and bosses, however. The workload is pretty intense. I often work late into the night and even on weekends when it's busy. Despite this, I've been working hard to make a mark. My efforts have been well recognized and trusted by the company early on. I have a wife named Lily, who I married during my senior year of college. She's a bit strong-willed, but she's more beautiful than I deserve. A fulfilling job and a loving wife made for a happy life. But that happiness began to crumble after a certain event. One day at work, I was suddenly called by my boss. Nervous that I might have made a mistake, I listened to what he had to say, but it was the complete opposite of what I expected, a pleasant surprise. He asked if I would like to join a new business project team. The members of the project were all skilled employees. Realizing that my abilities had been recognized, I immediately accepted the invitation. I believed that working with top-notch colleagues would undoubtedly help me grow further. Above all, I wanted to meet the company's expectations. The new business involved distributing our products in Southeast Asian countries. Naturally, that would make living in the US difficult. It would be a burden on Lily, but it was also a chance for my promotion. I was sure she would be pleased. However, that was just my naive fantasy. What? Are you serious? Lily's attitude changed dramatically when I told her what I had been told at work. You seem to be doing your job well enough to have a decent position at the company, yet it turns out you don't, she said. Hold on a minute. Like I said earlier, this project is crucial as it involves expanding overseas, I explained. But being sent to some country I've never heard of, right? How is that different from being demoted, she retorted. Please calm down. I've told you multiple times this is really an important project, I pleaded. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Oh my, I just can't take this, she exclaimed. Despite my explanations, she firmly believed that the overseas assignment was a demotion. Then, when I thought she had fallen silent, she suddenly said something shocking. I've decided. Let's get a divorce. What? Why would you say that? If you don't like the idea of moving abroad, I could just go alone, I offered. I don't care about that. I can't accept that I was deceived, and that you're the kind of person who gets demoted, she said coldly. I'm not deceiving you, and stop saying demoted. Do you only care about my position at the company, I asked. Yes, I agreed to date you and even married you because you were working at a well-known medical equipment manufacturer. I never imagined it would come to this. I'll pack my things and leave the house as soon as possible, so you should prepare for that too, she declared. Lily, whom I had been with since college, dropped the bombshell, and I couldn't process it. A few days later, she really left home, and a few days after that, a divorce paper requiring only my signature arrived. With the overseas transfer approaching and limited time, I signed the document in a somewhat resigned manner and sent it to the address she had specified. Thus began the rapid collapse of my life. I was unable to shift my focus due to the shock of the sudden divorce. Moreover, I fell ill. On top of that, the daily grind of hard work in a new country wore me down completely. I tried my best not to show my struggles during work hours, but 2 weeks after the transfer, I finally collapsed from exhaustion and fell asleep on my desk during lunch break. That was when it happened. Hey Tim, are you feeling unwell? Your break is almost over, a kind woman said. Man, I was asleep, I replied. It's still break time, you're fine, she reassured me. The kind woman who spoke to me was Samantha Roberts. She is an American working at a medical equipment manufacturer in Southeast Asia. She moved here as a child, so she is very knowledgeable about the local area. She is a truly reassuring presence for me. Have you gotten used to living here yet, she asked. Not really. The humidity here is so different from the US, and I'm still not used to the food, I admitted. It does get quite humid here. There's a good American food restaurant nearby. Have you been there, she inquired. Really? That's great, I responded. Well, the prices are a bit higher than other places, but if you can cook, There's also a supermarket that carries imported ingredients, she informed me. I didn't know that. Maybe I'll check it out next time, I said. If you'd like, I can show you around. I know a lot about this area, so feel free to ask me anything, she offered. That would be a big help. Thank you, I gratefully accepted. She even cared about my personal well-being and had become a pillar of support for me as I navigated the unfamiliar life abroad. In a gloomy state at work, she supported us with her local knowledge from spending her childhood here. I found myself naturally spending more time with her, who was not only considerate but also a good conversationalist and friendly. Tim, you've come all this way overseas. Don't you ever go sightseeing, she asked one day. Well, I don't really understand the language here. I manage with English at work, I replied. Then how about you join me on your next day off? I'll treat you to a restaurant where even you can eat, she suggested. Cool. If you're treating, maybe I will, I said with a grin. Hey, you earn more than I do, so you should be the one treating. Be a gentleman, she teased. In this way, without realizing it, Samantha and I had grown much closer. Thanks to her, I started finding restaurants that suited me and going out more, slowly regaining my spirits. Then, at work, I began to recover my rhythm, performing alongside the other employees. As I improved, my boss also felt reassured and began to entrust me with more responsibilities. Tim, can I talk to you for a second? You and Samantha had proposed a plan the other day, right? It got approved, my boss informed me. Really? That's good to know, I responded. Definitely. The documentation was also well done, he praised. That's thanks to Samantha. I think she'll be pleased to hear this, I said. You're doing well yourself. Anyway, I think the two of you will be at the center of this project, so keep up the good work, he encouraged. Thank you, I replied. While Samantha was a good friend privately, she had also become a great work partner. About a year after I transferred overseas, I started dating her. During yet another of our countless meals together, she confided in me. To think I had no idea you were such a promising young elite at the company, she remarked. I'm not that impressive, I said modestly. Well, I guess I seemed a bit unapproachable when I first came here, I admitted. That's right. Everyone here thought you were a scary guy. That's why when I approached you while you were sleeping, I ended up getting labeled as the weird one. But it's because you spoke to me then that I'm who I am today. It was really kind of you, she said warmly. Maybe I'm just a bit insensitive, you know, joking around like that, I said with a smile. The meals I shared with Samantha were truly enjoyable moments in my daily life. Before coming here, I was really feeling down, but thanks to her, I managed to find joy again. It was about 6 months after we started dating, meaning a year and a half since I had come here. One of the companies involved in our project was celebrating its 100th anniversary, and there was talk of a commemorative party in New York. Some of the project members were temporarily returning to participate, of course, including both Samantha and me. Since Samantha hadn't been to the US in decades, we promised that I would show her around. After that, we headed to the anniversary party. While enjoying a luxurious meal with colleagues I usually work with and greeting our clients, an unexpected person approached me. Oh dear, what is an employee like you doing here? She sneered. Lily, what are you doing here? I asked, shocked. The person was Lily, my ex-wife, who had unilaterally decided to divorce me, assuming that my assignment overseas was a demotion and that I was worthless. Why am I here? Well, I was invited because my husband works at this company, she said smugly. Apparently, she had remarried someone from the company, likely someone in a higher position, as she was ostentatiously showing off the designer items he had bought her. Still unchanged from back then, I felt disgusted and was about to leave. However, she didn't let me go without trying to boast about her new life for nearly a year. My new husband is much more capable than you, so he's working hard in New York City right now. He's involved in a major international project with various big corporations, and it's really impressive, she bragged. That's great for you, I said, trying to end the conversation. I was about to say that I was also involved in an international project, but I swallowed those words right away. Unconcerned about my feelings, she continued bragging. My life has become much richer than when I was with you. This bag, for instance, he bought it for me, she flaunted. That's great. It really suits you, I responded curtly. She seemed a bit annoyed by my responses, but when she noticed Samantha next to me, she shifted her target. Who's this woman next to you? Is she your new girlfriend, she asked. Yes, this is Samantha Roberts. We worked together overseas, I introduced her. Nice to meet you, Samantha said politely. So, you work in some rural part of Asia too? Ha, Lily sneered. Lily didn't stop at bragging, she began to belittle Samantha. I could tolerate her mocking me, but I couldn't stand her hurting Samantha. Just as I was pulling Samantha away to leave, Lily spoke up. Oh, just in time, my husband is coming this way. Over here, she called out. A seemingly pleasant man approached us. Upon realizing who I was, he looked me in the eyes and greeted me politely. Hi, Mr. Johnson. This is the first time we meet in person. I'm Ethan Thompson. Please, call me Ethan, he said. Nice to meet you. I'm Timothy Johnson. You can call me Tim, I replied. As we were shaking hands with small talk, Lily interrupted. You really shouldn't bother greeting someone like him. You're in a much higher position than he is, she said rudely. That's rude. What are you saying? Ethan asked, shocked. I'm stating a fact. You are an elite working in the city. You're nothing like him, who was demoted to some unknown place overseas, she declared. Ethan's face turned pale, suddenly looking very anxious. Sweat began to form on his face. What are you talking about? Stop saying such disrespectful things, he said, panicking. Why are you panicking? It doesn't make any sense, she questioned. Mr. Johnson is a key member of our current project. The project's success and my performance are largely thanks to these people, Ethan explained. No way. But he was demoted overseas, Lily protested. At Lily's words, Ethan looked even more distressed. He turned to us, making up for it. I'm terribly sorry for what my wife has said, he apologized. It's okay. I'm used to it, I said, trying to reassure him. Watching him desperately apologize to us, I couldn't help but feel sympathy for him. He must be another victim of Lily's antics. As Lily watched his demeanor, she seemed to finally start grasping the situation. Hey, is that true? That Tim wasn't really demoted, she asked, bewildered. Maybe I should have stayed with Tim, she muttered to herself. Still unable to believe in me, she started muttering to herself. Then, as if she had come to some conclusion, she suddenly turned to me and blurted out, I was a bit crazy, right? I actually hated being apart from you. And I said things to push you away. You know what, let's get back together. Let's remarry, she said. I was so astounded by her words that I couldn't respond. Just as I was about to say, please don't say anything more bizarre, she was forcibly dragged away by a pale-faced Ethan, and they left the venue. A few days after the incident at the anniversary party, Samantha and I quickly left New York and returned to Southeast Asia. The transition back was surprisingly smooth for me. Over time, I had completely adapted to the humid climate and the distinct flavors of the local cuisine, which I had initially found challenging. What surprised me most was how I started to feel more at home here than back in the United States. This newfound sense of belonging was, without a doubt, largely due to Samantha. When I first arrived overseas, disoriented and heartbroken, she reached out to me with a level of kindness and empathy I had never experienced before. Samantha didn't care about titles or the corporate hierarchy. She saw me as a person, not just a colleague or a cog in the company machine. Her genuine concern for my well-being went beyond professional courtesy. It was deeply personal. From the moment she noticed my fatigue and reached out during that lunch break, Samantha became a constant source of support. She shared her extensive knowledge of the local area, guiding me through unfamiliar customs and introducing me to new experiences. Whether it was recommending a good restaurant, helping me navigate the local markets, or simply being there to listen, she made every effort to make me feel comfortable. Her kindness extended beyond work hours. Samantha's willingness to spend time with me, to talk and laugh over countless meals, and to explore the city together played a crucial role in lifting my spirits. She had an uncanny ability to make me feel at ease, turning our outings into enjoyable adventures rather than mere escapes from my daily grind. With her, I rediscovered the joy in simple pleasures and began to appreciate the unique beauty of my new surroundings. Samantha's approachability and friendly demeanor made her an exceptional companion. She was always ready with a smile or a word of encouragement, making my adjustment to the new environment much smoother. Her optimism and resilience were infectious, gradually helping me regain my own confidence and drive. At work, we became an effective team, complementing each other's strengths and supporting each other through challenges. Over time, my respect for Samantha grew immensely. She was not only a skilled professional but also a compassionate and understanding friend. Her ability to connect with people on a personal level, to see beyond their titles and roles, was something I deeply admired. I came to realize that my feelings for her went beyond gratitude or friendship. I was genuinely proud to be in a relationship with such an incredible person. Samantha's influence on my life was profound. She had been there for me during one of the most challenging periods of my life, offering unwavering support and kindness. Her presence had transformed my experience overseas, turning what could have been a lonely and difficult journey into a period of personal growth and rediscovery. As I looked at her, I knew that my respect for her was boundless, and I felt incredibly fortunate to have her by my side.